something I've learned is that when people are willing to push to the extent of something, to push to their limit, to be unreasonably intense about something, to continually take on difficult problems, usually these people are like, they're defined by some kind of experience. Something happened in their lives that made them that way. Something gave them this kind of chip on their shoulder. Something happened that kind of changed their internal world and allowed them to see life in a way that is different from how other people see it. It's just really interesting to me to talk to people and learn what that is. In this episode of The Other Stuff, I had the opportunity to speak with Aidan Gomez, who is a very talented computer scientist and also the CEO of Cohere. And in this conversation, I thought we were going to talk about things like, the company he's creating in Canada. I thought we were going to talk about the scientific papers that he's worked on. A notable one is Attention is All You Need. And we did talk about those things. But one of the things we talked about was this small town he grew up in just north of Brighton, Ontario, and how that experience growing up there informed his entire life. And it's not just because of the place. It's like a remote place and very, very, very small population. But it's not just because of that. It's because of how his family ended up there and what they were processing at the time. I think it's a place that represents his family defining who they are and their values. I think it's a place where his family was processing some kind of grief. And I think that experience defined everything about who he is, or a lot about who he is, everything he's done up until this point, and I think it will define everything he does for the rest of his life. It's always really fascinating to talk to people who are not only working on interesting things, but have had these interesting life experiences that shape them and what they do and how they see the world. I think we all have this in some way. And it was cool to learn from Aidan about his past and the way he grew up. Very, very interesting individual. This was a great conversation, and I think I'm just scratching the surface on who Aidan Gomez is, and I would love to keep talking to him and keep learning and seeing how he processes and thinks about things. I hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you for everything. First of all, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate you.
I'm so stoked to be here. I've missed Toronto. I've been away for too long.
Yeah.
I'm living in London now.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah.
But I've sort of been, watching from the outside what you've been doing, what others have been doing, and I have so much FOMO. It's so fucking cool. What's happening here? I miss this city.
Yeah. That's cool.
I don't know when it changed. My sentiment towards Toronto when I lived here, it was home. It was warm and cuddly, but it was you would describe it as New York but shitty. New York but worse. But I don't describe it like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's there's a bunch of things really starting here and starting to bubble up. And I think you've been a huge part of
Thanks, man.
Catalyzing that, inspiring people.
Mm-hmm. I think with Toronto, it's the thing is that, or the thing I started to believe was that it's not as fixed as people think it is. That's the weird thing about it. When you think of a city, you think it's this kind of thing you can't adjust. It's this existing cultural idea that you're participating in, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the reality is that I think, at least in Toronto, it's very malleable. Mm-hmm. I think it's far more malleable than people think it is. And I think I'm also learning that your relationship with a place has less to do with the inherent qualities of that place, the inherent attributes of that place. And it has more to do with like just whether you have like a sense of meaning in that place, whether you have like friends that you can hang out with and crack jokes with, whether there's like a significance to what you're pursuing in that space. Like for me, it's like the like over like money or over like clothes or like a nice car or anything. Like what I want to know personally is like, do you have the capacity to like walk into a random plaza in Mississauga and be like, yo, I know a spot to get Korean fried chicken that you have no idea of. And the Korean fried chicken is really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
And not only that, you don't know about this spot. And to me, like that became the top of the hierarchy. You know what I mean? Of like, do you have this ability or not? And I think like, if you can shift your like, what is valuable and what is not valuable, then it really shifts your relationship to a place. Right. And I think for whatever reason, we were, I think a lot of people, at least in like the technology scene, right? It's like they were like a kind of hierarchy was being projected onto us. Like this is what is good and this is what is not as good, right? If you're building a startup, you should, and you go to San Francisco, this is like good. If you stay here, you know, it's like not as good or something like this. And so I think what happened was we just started shifting the hierarchy of things relative to just what we wanted to do. And we started just being excited about it and not like shying away from the idea of being like, I don't know, we just don't really, that existing hierarchy that exists, that way of interacting with this place, we just don't really want to participate in anymore. And I think like it, if anything, whether people look at what we're doing and they think like they want to do it or not, or if they see it exactly the way that we see it, that doesn't really matter. I think if anything, it reveals that, oh, like you don't have to be subject to someone else's perception and description of a place. You can just start making it your own. And it's really interesting to see what happens when you do that.
Yeah. You can be the author, the sculptor. I think Toronto is still a city that's being built, right? Like its tone hasn't been set. Its brand is still malleable, like you say. And the city, the people in it, I think they were, we were so hungry for a story.
Yeah.
And for action and for someone to come in and start doing things and organizing people, not towards any sort of like specific objective, but more towards a cultural one.
Yeah.
Like setting a new tone. I think you were in the tech scene, like you were the one who really started that trajectory and made people, I was fucking like, I'm proud to have come out of the Toronto tech scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's such a culture setting city. Like it's defined a lot of what's cool.
Yeah.
And it makes it exciting to be here, right? Because you can kind of be like a founder of the city.
Yeah.
You can be one of the ones that like really built it. It's
Totally.
not crowded. It's not like there's like, 1,000 startups that come through here every single quarter. It's not like there's no startup mill. Instead, it's like a small community of really ambitious, high taste individuals trying to build stuff.
While also being the fourth largest city in North America.
Is it actually?
I think so. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
even
it feels
third,
like
right, Robbie? I don't even know. Maybe.
There's still so much upside.
Am I wrong about that? But you got to get it in an order because that just says top. I think you got to. I think it is because like there you go, fourth. Yeah.
Wow. There's upside,
Yeah, like what do you mean?
It's not tapped out. It's
No,
like
not even
still,
close.
Like, even though it's the fourth largest city, there's still so much headroom to grow into.
Yeah.
There's so much like good ahead. There's so much good in the future.
Yeah.
It's not like the juice is squeezed. It is what it is. Which is kind of how I feel about a lot of other big cities. Like they're defined. Like you already know what they are. They're set in stone. But yeah, like you were saying, this place is so malleable.
Yeah.
The story's still being written.
So I think when you are like actively participating in this, right? Like you have a company, you're CEO of a company in Canada and stuff like that. Like you're participating in a very real way. And a pattern I'm noticing is that it's I talked to some founders and I'm like we're talking about this, and it's something that people can like hear and like, you know, be like, okay, cool, yeah, there's opportunity in Toronto, interesting, like it's more malleable. But for me, having like kind of like actual real conversations with founders that are doing stuff in here, doing stuff in the city, it's like it's they all get it. They're not here because they're not just here because they're thinking like, oh, this is my city and I want to like participate in it. What they actually know something that other people don't know, which is that there's actually like a higher potential for like return, for lack of a better word, right? It's like they're like, this is like a advantage to be here. There's so much more opportunity here. And I think you only can really truly understand that when you start to like actually do stuff, and you start to, when you're like doing a project, creating a company or something, and observing the feedback of it, you start to realize like, oh damn, like, oh, there's so much talent here, but then there's not that many interesting projects for them to work on. Exactly. So like if I create an interesting project, a lot of people will value that.
Yeah. It's so high alpha, right? Like there's so many like U of T, Waterloo, really like Canadian universities in general just keep pumping out generations of like the best computer scientists on the face of the planet.
Before we talk about that, so you grew up in Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton, Ontario.
That's interesting. And your dad was like a mathematician or something?
No. My dad, I mean, he definitely like
he was interested in math and physics.
Yeah. He was a high school teacher in math and physics and biology.
And then your mom was an artist?
She was an artist. That's what she studied, dance.
And she was also a librarian?
And a librarian, yeah. And she also taught Pilates.
She taught Pilates?
And she was
like
also
early days Pilates?
Mom for me, my brother. Yeah.
If she was in Pilates like early on, she's actually kind of a genius.
Yeah, no, she was.
Because you know what I mean. It's
super.
Because if you're in early, you're actually in it because of like Joseph Pilates.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
not. You know what I mean. You're not in it for like, oh, Pilates is a thing. You're in it for like, no. This is the correct method.
Yeah. She was like the first one there.
So let's, if you like, let me see. Let me just like zoom out of Brighton first. Yeah, right there. So that's Brighton. Wow.
The water, gospel.
So wait, where is this? Like, how far is this from Toronto?
It's like an hour and a half away.
Is this like Prince Edward County?
Yes, yeah. It's above Prince Edward County.
Oh,
but
okay,
super
cool.
close. Like all my high school girlfriend like worked at the wineries in Prince Edward County, that type of thing.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting a feel for this. Okay, I can kind of understand this. Okay, so where is Prince Edward County?
This is my high school.
Yeah. Well, there was only like one, right?
Down into there is only one. For
we tried to
50 kilometers in any direction.
We actually tried to call the principal. I think he's gonna get back to us.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So there's only one east, northern.
We called it ENSS.
ENSS, cool.
Dragons, go Dragons.
Okay, so you grew up in this place called Brighton. So what? This is kind of a remote place, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's on the 401, so it's like pretty connected. But I didn't actually grow up in Brighton. Brighton is a township of a bunch of little mini towns. Okay. I grew up north of Brighton, like close to Codrington, right there.
Codrington. Yeah. Okay, so you grew up in this smaller town.
So the story is my dad and his dad. So my grandma, my dad's mom, she passed away. And both of my grandparents and my dad, they were immigrants from Spain to Toronto. Yeah. They were like the only Gomez in the phone book at that time. And they kind of only had each other. There weren't a lot of Spanish people in Toronto back in those days.
Your dad and his dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then when my dad was like 21 or 22 or something, his mom died. And my grandpa, he just sort of opted out of the city. He didn't want to live in Toronto anymore. And so my dad, he took like this, at the time, huge loan and bought 150 acres of forest in like just north of Brighton, close to Codrington.
Wow.
And they went there, they cut down some trees, and they built a cabin together, the two of them, him and his dad. And then his dad moved out there. My dad stayed in the city, like kept teaching there. But my grandpa really, when his wife died, he moved into the woods in this cabin. He didn't speak English, and he's moving into like the whitest little farmer's village.
Yeah.
And he plowed some soil, made a little garden. He dug he didn't have a washroom. So he dug a outhouse outside, and he had a little wood furnace that was like the heating for the whole thing. And somehow he survived with a cat and a dog in the middle of the woods in a place that he didn't speak the language, by himself. And I think my grandpa's like, I find his story really inspiring. He's so, like, you want to talk about someone who's like a max autonomy individual.
Yeah.
This guy was like, he was wild. He fought in World War II. He became a vegan after that. He was just like, he would like, in his house, obviously we live in the woods. There's fucking flies, bugs.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a tough place to live in the spring when they're like spawning. And he would like catch them in his hand and not kill them and then let them outside.
Yeah.
He wouldn't hurt anything. He was so kind and peaceful. And he was largely alone, like independent.
Yeah.
When his wife died, he just said, I'm going. And I just find that, I find it so, like the mettle that you need to have to thrive and live like that. I think, I just find it so inspiring.
Yeah, for sure. Me too, man. Do you think there was something when his wife died that there was something between your dad and like your grandfather that, was that kind of like an inciting incident in some way? Like what do you think it was about that? Like why do you think that happened in that moment?
Like my grandpa.
Like why do you think they decided to do that?
I just think my grandpa wanted to be alone. Like the woman that he loved and built a life around left, died. And he wanted to be alone.
Yeah.
And so my dad helped him do that.
Yeah.
And eventually, my dad and his dad had this extreme, my dad loved my grandpa so much. And I think, my grandpa's my hero, my grandpa's my brother's hero, my dad's hero.
Yeah.
My mom's. So when my dad and my mom had me, when I was like 1 year old, they left the city and they cut down trees, my dad and my grandpa, and they built a second cabin.
Oh, they did?
And so from 1 year old, that was my house, a second cabin on this property. So I grew up with my grandpa my whole life.
Wow. So this is like hugely influential on who you are. Yeah. So your relationship with Brighton, it's like when I look at Brighton, I'm like, or this Codrington thing, it's like, I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is like some small town, right? But for you, it's like you actually grew up in this very, very, very different way. Mm-hmm. You grew up in this kind of way of like, this was like an act that your family took in a way. This was like a processing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like a processing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn. Wow.
Yeah, if you turn around,
that's beautiful,
here,
man.
Keep turning. That is the library that my mom works at still.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
It's not. See, the interesting thing is like when people look at this thing, like any normal person, they'll look at this and they'll think, yeah, you just grew up in a small town, but that's not what happened.
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's a special place. Yeah.
Yeah. You grew up in a process.
Yeah, and I didn't appreciate it at all. Like, I thought it was normal. Obviously, like you grew up from 1 year old in the middle of the forest in a cabin your dad built. You're just like, everyone has this experience. You know,
yeah.
This is so normal. Like you, in the summer, in the spring, you go out into the woods. You look for the trees that naturally die. You cut them down with a chainsaw, and you do that in the spring so that over the course of the summer, when it's hot, those trees will bake, dry out. Then you come back in the fall, you chop it up into rounds, you load those up in the truck, bring it back up to the house, take an axe, split them into logs, and then stack them so that they can dry out some more. And that's what you have to do, because in the winter, the only way you keep your house warm is with a wood furnace, right?
Wow.
And so it's like that or die.
So that's what you grew up doing?
Yeah. I mean, my dad did most of it. I shouldn't take that much
and
credit. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. That's a deep cut. What is this from? 2019?
2019.
Yeah. This is me showing Ivan how to chop some wood.
Wow. That's like a perfect chop.
Thank you.
So you grew up like this, but you didn't, I mean, at some point you would have thought you would have realized this is not a normal way to grow up, right? This is not but I mean, you thought it was normal, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, once I got to school and I would hang out at friends' houses, and the other
even in Brighton.
Yeah.
I guess because that's the interesting thing about it. It's odd even for Brighton.
Yeah. No, I had a weird, nobody lived like me other than me. Like even the farm kids had like internet and shit,
Yeah.
But we had no internet. I don't know why. We were just like in this dead spot. So we only got the phone line, so dial up. And then later on we got satellite. This is like pre-Starlink. So it's like just the most shitty internet you can imagine. You can watch photos load pixel by pixel, line by line. And I would go to my friend's house, and my buddy Nick, we used to play so many video games together, and his internet was so fucking fast.
Yeah.
It was so fucking fast. You could like chat to people, talk to people online. Like it was just so much fun. So I think I didn't appreciate it. I was so pissed off. I was like, why the fuck do we live here? There's no fucking internet. I can't play fucking COD with my friends.
Yeah.
I was so mad. But now I just realize how stupid I was and how lucky I was.
Why do you think you were lucky?
I just don't think, I don't think many people get to grow up like that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have the option to just run outside naked in the woods, but I did.
What was your day like? What's a normal day like? Like, let's say, like, so you were like with like a wood furnace for like a while?
Yeah, up until I left the house when they put in. Now we have like a natural gas heater thing. But I was already at uni by then.
So in high school it was a wood furnace?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So what was your like normal day like?
I mean, in the summers, it's so hot outside.
Well, like tell me like a regular day, like you're getting ready for school or something like that. Like what is it like?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's your morning routine?
Yeah, I like, I don't know, wake up, shower, maybe eat.
So it's like a septic tank?
Yeah, there's a septic tank. There's a well. Like we have our well, which is dug, and the water is hard water. So you have like a softener, and so much shit would happen, right? Like the power would go out randomly. Yeah, if there's a storm and like a tree knocks out the power lines, because we have to. My driveway from the road to my house is 1.5 kilometers long, so it's fucking far. It's like
a kilometer.
Yeah.
A kilometer length driveway.
Yeah,
1.5 kilometers. That's huge.
Yeah, we had like a snowplow for our driveway.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really a snow. What my dad would do is he would like attach a plow to the front of whatever car. So at some point it was like a Kia Sportage, and on the front he had a snowplow and would clear the driveway with that. So yeah.
Wait, he had a plow on the front of a Kia Sportage?
Yeah. Also on like, what is the Dodge like minivan thing? Yeah, like this. Well,
what the fuck?
Yeah,
is going
kind of
on
like
right now,
the
man?
third. Yeah, this type of shit. Yeah, that's what we would have. We would have like our woods
What the
car.
fuck is going on, man?
And we had this this old Chevy truck, which was like truly ancient. I think it was from the 70s maybe. And we had that for the longest time, but then finally it died and broke. And then we hooked up, I think it was like a Grand Caravan, Dodge Grand Caravan, I guess.
Yo, how is this possible that this is the way you grew up? You must have been fucking pissed.
Yeah.
You had to have been, man.
Yeah,
Like,
as a teenager, for sure.
You had to, man.
For sure. I went through phases. It was kind of like at the beginning, when I was super young, when I was like in like, I don't know, before I turned 13.
Yeah.
My house was the sickest fucking house.
Like, what do you mean?
Paintball
Why?
guns.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
BB guns.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we'd be out in the woods
Yeah,
shooting
yeah.
shit.
But
We'd,
like, the parents would be cool to like.
yeah, they would let us do that shit. And like,
No,
you
not
know,
your parents. I mean, like your friends' parents and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They're chill.
Yeah,
Mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, machetes and dirt bikes. We had a bunch of dirt bikes. And 150 acres of property to just go explore.
And you knew it. You knew the whole area, right?
Go build teepees, start a little fire out there, like survive.
Yeah.
But we're like 10 years old. Yeah. And sometimes, like, I remember with my friend Nick, we were having a sleepover on the weekend, and the weekend came to an end, and we didn't want to leave. So we're like, we're going to fucking camp out in the woods.
Yeah.
Take some fucking, string cheese.
Yeah.
And shit. And they're not going to find us.
I guess. Yeah. I guess.
We're gone. We're fucking gone. We're just going to live here. This is our new life. We live, 200 meters from the house in this direction.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure this shit out. We can sneak in when my parents are asleep.
Yeah.
Get more cheese strings.
Yeah.
And we'll be fine. So it was like, up until I was 13, it was the best.
Yeah.
And then when I hit 13 to like when I graduated, it was hell. Like
what happened? Like,
there's no fucking internet. I can't talk to anyone. Everyone has
right.
Whatever.
So that
Facebook,
was
Instagram.
so at a point, like when you're growing up, a lot of like when you're a kid and you're growing up, a lot of the way you interact with the world is like by playing outside and like doing things around you. But at a certain point, like people start using the internet, and then there's like this dual social layer that exists where there's like the reality that you're moving through, but then this other layer of like the internet, and it's this whole other world that people have access to. So I guess your friends had access to it and then you didn't have access to it, right? Is that how it went?
Yeah, it was pretty much cut out. But I tried really hard. Like even with dial-up, the reason I learned to code was because I was like, there's no way my computer is meant to be this slow. There's something wrong with it. And so I'm going to figure out how to make my computer faster.
Is that what it was?
So I would like spend hours just researching how to make computer faster, going into settings, changing things. And like,
why did you want to make your computer faster? For games?
For literally anything. I just wanted to be on the internet.
Really?
And it was so hard to do that on dial-up or this like satellite internet that if a cloud passed over, you're fucking gone dark.
So what was the first experience that like made you want to be on the internet? What's the first thing you remember where you're like, I need this?
I don't know.
Like it must have been something maybe you saw at a friend's house or something. Like
like my exposure to the internet was at friends' places and I guess at school. Like they had internet at school.
Yeah.
So you play those like web game things, RuneScape and all this stuff. I think the thing that really made me want to have the internet was just like gaming with friends. Like that was such a like social fun thing to do. And it was totally inaccessible unless I was somewhere else, unless I was out of my house.
Yeah. And then your friends were playing it in their house and things like this.
Yeah, exactly. So there was this FOMO.
So how do you, when you think about, man, that's so weird.
What's weird?
Like just the
snowplow?
The snowplow is weird, but I mean, just growing up like that, it's kind of odd that you're in this situation. Maybe if I had gone through the situation that you're going through, and maybe had gone through, it would make sense in some way. But it's kind of odd that you ended up in this situation like that. Like you, at some point, I guess, like you're trying to get access to the internet, but you must have been good at school or something, because like you ended up at U of T, right? Mm-hmm. What is the process? Like, how do you go from like trying to make your computer faster and getting access to dial up to like getting to U of T?
I mean, I was super lucky. I had my dad who was like math and science teacher, and so I had like a private at-home tutor who, like, to get my first Game Boy, I had to learn the multiplication table up to blah, and I was like 5 years old or 6 years old or something. So he'd always set up these, like, if you accomplish this hard but good for you thing, you unlock this thing. It was this big, like, delay of gratification. Like, yeah, you can get anything you want, but there are things you need to achieve to unlock those. And he was, right there with me. He wasn't just like, you have to figure this out, good luck. He would, like, teach me, test me, grow me. And I think that having that was just an insane advantage. Like, I just got taught.
Why is your family like this? Like,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, what were they doing before they came to Canada?
My dad came when he was like 10, so he was a kid.
But there's something about this. Like, they clearly like doing really hard things, and they clearly value their own understanding, and like
there's a tolerance for pain.
Yeah.
There's like a tolerance for pain. And my mom is like very much an artist, and like all my love of beauty and, aesthetics and all of these things come from her.
Yeah.
And so I got these two role models. One, hardcore science, math, technology, and the other side, just the beauty in the world and taste and art and And my dad is like a hardcore atheist, and my mom is like super like spiritual, no particular religion, but like we would go out into the woods to hug the wishing tree. Make a wish on this big ancient, like 200-year-old tree, oak tree. Or like she would have her father's, when her dad died, her father loved beech trees, and there was a beech tree, and that was her father's, and she would go out and spend time with it.
Oh, crazy.
And so I got so fucking lucky.
Yeah, that sounds like really, really, really insane. It's like you were like almost groomed to be this person that's like really good at something.
Maybe. I don't think they ever expected me.
Well, they're clearly driven by a set of values. Mm-hmm. You have to be very, very driven by a set of values to do something like that.
They definitely, they have very strong values.
Yeah, for sure. They had strong enough values to be like, it sounds like the inciting incident is when your grandmother died, where for whatever reason they just decided that, hey, it's like that incident seems like it's unacceptable for us to not live our values at this point. Like the only thing that matters is living our values. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like that happened. They leaned into whatever, my interpretation is they leaned into whoever they were. Mm-hmm. Like this is who we are. And it sounds like it was a key moment between your grandfather and your dad, like a bonding moment to say that, no, like I see you and we're going to do this. Mm-hmm. Right. And there's a lot of implications to that too. Like there has to be a very, very strong set of values and a certain level of conviction and commitment in order to lean into that, because it's not just it's not just like going out there and living and cutting down the trees and stuff like that. It's also this there's very real implications when you're bringing like a child into the world, into that kind of thing. Like they clearly knew that there's no way they didn't know that this was not uncommon, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it takes a certain level of commitment, and for your mom to be involved in that too. There requires a certain level of alignment and commitment that like, no, our values and the way we see the world is more important than anything else.
Yeah. I think I was super lucky. I was super lucky to get to have the parents that I had, to grow up in the place that I grew up.
It's really cool. It makes me wonder a lot about how it influenced your work. I wonder what it'd be like to work with you. Like, it's like, I wonder how you approach problems and like difficulty levels of things. Like when you feel like something is done or not done. Like it would have to change your kind of like thresholds of like what is acceptable or not acceptable. Did that like so when you were in school and you're trying to get, you know, and you're obviously like your dad is teaching you this stuff and he's putting you through these like very difficult exercises. How did you end up at U of T in that program? Right? Like how did you end up there? Cause like, I think you were at U of T at a pretty, like what happened was like you were kind of like at the right place at the right time in a lot of times.
Constantly.
Yeah. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's kind of intense.
It's spooky.
Yeah. So like you were like, after you went to U of T and you were at U of T at like a critical point. Cause it's not just like the guys you were hanging around with or the people that you were around. It's not just that they were always there. It was like, these are people that had been doing this for a very, very, very long time. And it seemed like their work was at a tipping point.
Yeah. It just started to work.
It just started to work. Right. Yeah. And then they were all happened to congregate and like in these kind of clusters of areas. Like, how did you end up at U of T? And can you just describe like what it was like and like what the energy was like? Can you just tell us? Cause like for other people who weren't there, like what it means, what was happening, who these people were.
Well, my dad went to U of T.
Oh, okay.
And so that kind of made it like my dad's school. And so I always had like a halo around U of T and that school and what it meant. And so I really wanted to go there. Like that was the only place I applied. I didn't apply to any other school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just applied to U of T. And yeah, what was the scene like? It was
like, was there a moment where you recognized that something special is happening here? Because you're kind of the new entrant, but these guys have been on a path for a while, right? So was there a moment where you recognized that, oh, okay, wait, this is a tipping point, or this is something interesting?
So I didn't take any like ML, I didn't take any AI classes until third year of U of T. And before that, I had no idea what was happening. I was totally out of the loop, like didn't know who Jeff Hinton was. Yeah. But independently, I was just really interested in AI.
Right.
I was like it felt like intelligence and consciousness was the last unanswered question. There was no satisfactory answer of like, why is our species like this? It's the last mystery.
Yeah.
It was for me the world's last mystery. Physics, there was all these mysterious things, this orb that rises in the morning and then another one that rises at night, and we could explain all that. We knew like down to the lowest level how these systems work. We could predict how they evolved. We just understood them so well. But this one thing of like, what are we? Like, why are we so different than every other animal? Like, how do we explain this? There was no satisfactory answer. Everything around us was so dumb. and it was just us. And so I just couldn't think of a more exciting problem to work on.
Yeah.
So I went into AI, and then I started doing it sort of independently. I actually left school. I spent a year in Vancouver working for the startup. They were building like an app that would turn your sheet music as you play piano. And I grew up playing piano. My dad forced me to do that. And so this was like sort of a merger of two things that I loved. And to do that, we were like, making neural nets that listen to audio streams, try to triangulate where in the song you are, track that over time, and then turn your pages for you. Turns out it's actually a very difficult problem. But I had to learn how to do machine learning, and I started reading all these papers, and it was all fucking U of T. It was all U of T, and I was just like, wait, what? Like at the top of the paper, you see like the emails of the authors, and it's just like @cs.toronto. And I was just so blown away and so then when I was in Vancouver, I just shot an email to Jeff.
Yeah.
I was just like, hello, Professor Hinton. I read your paper on blah, 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 the ReLU activation function. I think it should be periodic instead of monotonic. And I just gave him this idea, and the guy responded.
Yeah.
This legend who last year he won the Nobel Prize. I was like a second year undergrad, a borderline imbecile. And he responded to my little research idea. Yeah. And he told me why I was wrong, and, very respectfully. And then he sort of put me in touch with some others in the lab. And from there, I actually got to see the U of T ML groups vibe. I would sit in on paper readings and people presenting their work, people presenting other people's work. And I started to see this ecosystem.
A scene,
yeah. Of these incredibly smart, incredibly passionate people. And I noticed they were all going to Google.
Right.
All these guys would just go to Google Brain, and that's where they went. Ilya was there. Jeff. Everyone had gone over to Google at that point. And so then I just started emailing people.
Emailing these guys.
Yeah, emailing these dudes.
What would the emails say?
Hey, I'm Aidan. Here's some of the stuff that I'm working on right now. What I'm thinking about. I read your paper on this. I think it's super interesting. I think did you try this? The next thing might be this. I'd love to work on it together. Do you have any spots? And 99% of those emails went unanswered, but a few got answered, and then I got in.
That's cool. It takes a certain level of confidence to read a paper and say oh, hey, you did it like this, but you can actually do it like that. Why do you think you had that confidence?
I think I was naive.
Oh, I see. But I mean, still confident.
Sufficiently naive.
Yeah, but still interesting that you were confident.
Yeah. I guess so.
Because there's people that are naive, but maybe naivete is useful in that sense. But there is a certain level of viewing it as hey, I can build on this work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never felt like anything was out of reach for me.
Right.
I never had a sense that I guess I was confident. Confident thanks to my naivety. But no, I felt like I could engage with the material. I mean, I was obsessed with it. I was I would carry around a stack of papers with me everywhere that I went. I'd be in the gym.
What's in the stack? The papers? Oh, the scientific papers.
Yeah. Like research papers.
Yeah, research papers.
From archive.
And you would carry them with you?
I'd print them out, and I would just have a pen and a paper, and I would be reading it. And initially it was super hard. It was I didn't understand anything that was fucking happening in this document. It would take me weeks to read one paper, and I would just be on my phone Googling pretty much every third word, trying to understand it. But over time, it just got easier and easier, and I thought the ideas were so beautiful, right? There's so much. We're dealing in intelligence. We're dealing in what makes a system smart, and so these the researchers that I was reading would always their inspiration wasn't some sort of like abstract theory, mathematical derivation. It was people. It was humans. It was, this is what people do. And so maybe we can create something similar. Maybe this works because, you know, it works in humans. And those sorts of analogies. And if you read a Geoff paper, like one that he's written.
Like what's your favorite one? Or what's an example of one that communicates what you're talking about?
Probably Dropout.
Dropout? Can you find it?
Yeah. And he talks about, like sex and reproduction.
Really?
And
Dropout. A simple way to prevent neural networks from overfitting. Abstract. Deep neural nets with a large number of parameters are very powerful machine learning systems. However, overfitting is a serious problem in such networks. Large networks are also slow to use, making it difficult to deal with overfitting by combining the predictions of many different large neural nets at test time. Dropout is a technique for addressing this problem. The key idea is to randomly drop units along with their connections from the neural network during training. This prevents units from co-adapting too much. During training, dropout samples from an exponential number of different thinned networks. At test time, it is easy to approximate the effect of averaging the predictions of all these thin networks by simply using a single unthinned network that has smaller weights. This significantly reduces overfitting and gives major improvements over the regularization methods. We show that dropout improves the performance of neural networks on supervised learning tasks in vision, speech recognition, document classification, and computational biology, obtaining state-of-the-art results on many benchmark data sets. This is cool. It almost feels like, damn. This is interesting because it feels like graffiti or something. It feels like it's like a flex. Like how can you not only find a breakthrough?
Wait, at the bottom here? Oh yeah, so there he's talking about sex and
evolution. A motivation for dropout comes from a theory of the role of sex in evolution. Sexual reproduction involves taking half the genes of one parent and half of the others, adding a very small amount of random mutation and combining them to produce an offspring. The asexual alternative is to create an offspring with a slightly mutated copy of the parent's genes. It seems plausible that asexual reproduction should be a better way to optimize individual fitness because a good set of genes that have come to work well together can be passed on directly to the offspring. On the other hand, sexual reproduction is likely to break up these co-adapted sets of genes, especially if these sets are large and intuitively, this should decrease the fitness of organisms that already have evolved complicated co-adaptations. However, sexual reproduction is the way most advanced organisms evolved. What the fuck, dude?
So that's like they're.
So it's interesting because you're learning. It's like it's almost like reading a science fiction novel or something.
A bit, yeah. No, it's he draws so much inspiration from these high level observations about the systems that do work, which is our own.
Right.
And I think Geoff is such a beautiful mind and ability to draw these connections and pull inspiration from really disparate areas into like what is like basically just like applied math.
Yeah.
But he can go like so high level to such a low level idea, right? Like this is literally like zeroing out weights in a forward pass.
Yeah.
And he can draw from there up to reproduction.
Totally.
You know, like the general. That skill, I think, is what makes his ideas so effective. Is because he can work by analogy. So effectively.
So when you read this paper, did it reframe how you saw your own skill in like what you were doing with math, right? Like in how that could be applied, what you were learning about computers. Like did this kind of like core idea extrapolated out to these broader concepts, did it change the significance of how you saw what you were doing in some way?
No, I always thought it was very significant.
Right.
I always had like a view on the problem we're working on is understanding like the last mystery
Yeah.
of humanity.
No, I mean, when you were like at U of T walking with these stack of papers, trying to understand your relationship with artificial intelligence or these, these like computational techniques and these things, like, were you already at that point, you already saw the beauty of it, or?
Yeah, no, I definitely did.
Right.
I definitely, that's what really pulled me in,
Right.
and made me so obsessed. Yeah. I just think that time, that place, there was just this group of people who had a secret.
Yeah.
And it was deep learning and
Yeah.
neural nets. And if you were in it, you just felt like, if you were there, nobody else was really talking about this. No one really cared about AI. No one took it seriously, but you were watching this process of discovery. There was like a new breakthrough every few months.
Crazy.
And these things were just getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. It was such a cool time. It shifted dramatically. It's really like the impact now comes dramatically less from research and academia and much more in industry.
Yeah.
And that pollutes some of the beauty, I think.
Why?
Because it pulls in like different incentives. But the reality is, to make progress, you need so many more resources that it has to be done in these settings.
Right.
There's just no other way to like aggregate resources at sufficient scale to pursue the work that you need to do to make progress. But back, this was like run on CPUs.
Yeah.
Like it was on your laptop.
Yeah.
And
It's
so it was very
amazing.
accessible at that point.
So was this stuff being dropped in like real time? Like in the sense, like when did this paper come out? Do you know the year? Oh yeah. 2014. So is this something where you're like at U of T and then it's like, oh shit, they dropped a new paper and then you read it kind of thing? Or how is that? Or is this like where these breakthroughs were obviously happening in real time, right? Like you would see a paper and then it would like, it would have just come out and you're around these other people that are reading it for the first time as well,
Totally,
right?
Yeah. No, that was happening constantly.
Wow.
Yeah. He just had so many good ideas. Like the most amazing thing about Hinton is that the guy, he just wrote hits, like he was just so high taste in what he worked on.
Yeah. A kind of non-obvious thing about this paper Dropout, just if we use that as an example, is like just naming it that term, like Dropout. There's like
the branding thing is so interesting.
It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that. Like to make it to recognize that you're not just figuring out these like kind of like computational breakthroughs, but you're also creating like the scaffolding for other people to participate in these ideas and understand what the significance of this is going to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
research is one part the idea, one part the execution, and one part the branding.
Yeah.
Like the like attention is all you need. Right?
Yeah, it's a really good name.
Or like Transformers.
Yeah.
It's just like in the moment it was sort of just a joke, and it's like, haha, yeah, that'd be a funny name.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, would it have gotten that much attention if it was like sequence transduction models for the modeling of like, you know what I mean?
So you're writing emails. So the first email is to Jeff Hinton. Then you kind of like get in there and you start emailing other people. You're reading scientific papers. You're trying to make sure you understand every sentence. And through these scientific papers, you're trying to understand this scene, these like group of individuals that are working on this thing where breakthroughs are happening like one after another, right? And then what is the story of how you went from that to working on this paper, Attention is All You Need?
So I got into Google. There's a guy, he's right there next to me on the paper, Lukash. a guy from Poland.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about high taste individuals. This guy is like, he's unbelievable. He's constantly like half a decade to a decade ahead of himself.
Really?
Yeah, he's so.
So like, what do you mean? Like for a normal person like me, like what does that mean?
So look up this paper. It's called One Model to Learn Them All. This is another
I've
paper
heard of this.
at the same time as the Transformer that Lukáš and I
2017. Can I read this abstract?
Yeah, go for it.
Deep learning yields great results across many fields, from speech recognition, image classification to translation. But for each problem, getting a deep model to work well involves research into architecture and a long period of tuning. We present a single model that yields good results on a number of problems spanning multiple domains. In particular, this single model is trained concurrently on ImageNet, multiple translation tasks, image captioning, COCO datasets, a speech recognition corpus, and an English parsing task. Our model architecture incorporates building blocks from multiple domains. It contains convolution layers, an attention mechanism, and sparsely gated layers. Each of these computational blocks is crucial for a subset of tasks that we a subset of the tasks we train on. Interestingly, even if a block is not crucial for a task, we observe that adding it never hurts performance, and in most cases improves it on all tasks. We also show that tasks with less data benefit largely from joint training with other tasks, while performance on large tasks degrades only slightly, if at all.
Mm-hmm. So basically, before, like at this time, you would build a model for translation.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that does. You would build a model for image classification that looked completely different.
Yes.
You'd build a model for each of these different tasks. And Lukáš's idea was, why are we doing this? What if we just had one model that did all of those things? It could consume audio, it could consume images, it could consume text.
Holy shit.
And we kind of only got there 2 years ago, when like 4.0 came out and Omni model. But this was being worked on, 8 years ago. So he's always so far ahead. And the results that we saw was actually, when you put everything together, it helps. And things that were really hard to make good because you couldn't collect enough data, they got dramatically better when exposed and augmented with these other capabilities. And so those observations, Lukáš has been thinking about this stuff for so long.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lukáš hired me.
Wow.
Went into Google, worked on this, worked on the Transformer. And when I was leaving Google 4 months later.
Wait, you did both of those within 4 months?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. That's crazy.
From scratch too,
Was it a lot of work?
It was, that period of my life, I
what
didn't
was it
go
like?
home. I slept at the office.
Really?
The night we submitted the papers to NeurIPS, I was at the office and I got woken up by a cleaner opening a door into a phone booth, and I was sleeping on the floor of the phone booth, and it whacked me.
Holy shit.
That's what woke me up. So I got hired 4 months later. I was leaving, and then I found out that Lukáš thought I was a PhD student. and he's like, we don't hire undergrad interns.
Oh.
And so he was so confused. So then apparently there was some sort of administrative error that put me there.
Damn, that's crazy.
And I sort of slipped through the cracks.
Wow.
To be present. Yeah.
Holy shit. What is the process of writing a paper like this? How does it go down?
At first, it's just all experiments, code, setting everything up, running it, trying. And then it's just an iteration process. It's press run, how good.
No, I mean, what is it? Obviously, this Lukáš guy, he had a idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's well, what if we brought all the models together? There must be some kind of inciting incident that is used to for people to go on the path of even maybe he's in the shower or something and he has this thought and then he's
you should have him on. You should ask him. I don't know how he had that idea.
No, but I just mean in general, how does it work, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, you just have moments of inspiration.
Right.
You're what if we did that? Would that work?
Yeah.
You just you wonder. You're curious. You're like I want to just like run it and see.
Yeah.
That's how research and these discoveries happen, is just curiosity. And suddenly you have a like, what if we, and you try it and see.
Yeah. So that experience, that 4 months at Google changed your life, right?
Completely. Yeah.
Like that fundamentally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was definitely a formative period of my life.
Yeah.
And the time after that, like, when I got back to Toronto, I started this research group at U of T, for undergrads called 4AI.
Yeah.
And started that with Ivan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like I messaged the U of T computer science student union, and I was like, hey, I want to do some research in machine learning. I need some help. Who would want to do that with me? And Ivan messaged me.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. So this is third year.
This is starting third year. Yeah.
What year was he in?
He had dropped out at that point.
Really?
He was working at a startup. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I guess he was still on the emails.
Yeah, he was still in the Slack.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's your first relationship. That's your first kind of thing with Ivan.
Yeah. And then Jeff invited me to Google in Toronto, and that's where I met Nick.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was so jealous of Nick because Nick was like Jeff's first report. He's like Jeff's like godson, you know? Like
really?
He's like such a close relationship between these two.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was coming into this lab, Jeff and Nick were like this together. So I really admired Nick and his relationship with Jeff, and that's how I got to know Nick. And then, eventually the three of us, Nick and Ivan actually lived in the same building right next to the Google office.
Oh, crazy. They didn't know each other though.
They did, yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. I don't know if they knew they lived in the same building, but I did. And then one day, the three of us just sat down and said, we should fucking do this.
How does that happen? Like, wait, when you did the 4AI thing, that's like, he messaged you and he's like, I'll help you. And so that was the first thing you guys worked on together, right? You and Ivan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's us.
Is that where you, damn, that's crazy.
Where we chose the name.
Cohere?
Cohere. What is this place called? Fuck.
Big Trouble?
Yes.
What's it called?
Big Trouble.
Oh, Big Trouble?
Yeah. Grabbing beers.
Wait, is it a movie?
No, it's on Spadina.
Oh, what kind of restaurant is it? Oh, Pan Asian Pub?
Yeah, it's like above.
Sounds cool.
Is it above?
This is where it all went down. There it is.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Damn. Is Ivan smart?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's really smart.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, he's like
what makes him smart?
He's a deadly combination of very high taste and his tolerance for pain and work ethic. I've never met anyone, to this day, I just don't know anyone who can like fight through things like he can.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big statement for you, considering you grew up in like the middle of the fucking woods, like having to you didn't have heating and shit.
Yeah. But I complain the whole time, but Ivan doesn't complain. He just he works. Just like his output is crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, there he is in the trenches.
So you have these three guys. How did you, oh my God, man. What was that, like macaroni shit? What is he eating, dude?
It's like a
look at that
ration.
He's a funny guy.
He's so funny.
Yeah,
he's hilarious.
What what was the, oh my God, Michelin? What was the reason why you guys started the company? Yeah. Why'd you guys start it?
So Ivan was like, I want to, quit my job, and start a company. And I was like, okay, good luck. I was doing my PhD. And I was like, I have to do my PhD, so I'm not going to do it with you, but I really don't want you working on something that's lame.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to help you like pick the idea.
Yeah.
And so every day we would like send each other ideas, like, you know, a startup for this, or like, what if we did this? What if we could make this happen?
So you clearly knew you wanted to work with Ivan on something, or you were.
We were already like we founded 4AI together,
Yeah.
and we had like, you know, scaled it, published papers through it,
Right.
built a community of like 100 people.
Oh wow.
So I knew him super well, and
Yeah, and you enjoyed working with him.
Oh my god, he was like the best.
Yeah.
He is the best still. I just love working with him.
Yeah.
He's just so. He's amazing. Like like getting to work, like Ivan is. You're so lucky to get to work with him.
Yeah.
He's such a like good, committed, intense, inspiring person. He's not afraid of anything. He's just like completely.
I feel like he's afraid of me.
Okay.
I can tell when I'm around him, he fucking like flinches and shit.
Really?
I think
you're a bully. You're a bully.
I think he's. I'm not a bully. I just think he's a little afraid of me. You know.
Okay. That surprises me.
Has he been?
You're such a nice guy.
Yeah. Has he been? Have you guys been like deadlifting and stuff?
No, I broke my back.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, I fucked my spine.
Yeah, and you had to get like back surgery, right?
Yeah, I had like.
And now you do like an adjusted deadlift or something like that right now.
I don't do deadlifts at all.
Nothing?
But yeah, I was deadlifting without a belt, and like, I think like 300 and something pounds, so like too much weight without a belt.
Yeah.
And my spine just fucking broke, and my like vertebra slipped forward, and then I had to get it pulled back, fused.
Oh my god.
But I'm back in the gym now. I'm fine. Also, they put in a titanium spacer.
That's cool.
So you get like
you're like Wolverine.
taller.
Oh.
So
yeah.
like
I need to get that.
Exactly. Yeah. Dude, deadlift without a belt. It's like a fucking cheat code.
You're like Wolverine, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, Ivan's incredible.
Yeah. So you guys were.
There it is. Yeah. Imagine working with that.
This is crazy. Seems very calming.
Imagine what that.
He seems very balanced.
Yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
is calm.
Look at his feet, man. You think he likes that video?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. Oh, this was at my my like my wife's Kazakh, and they have an engagement party called an Uzatu, and they made Ivan drink so much. I've never seen him that. I think he took 20 shots of vodka. Also, yeah, Ivan is huge. He puts on muscle so easily. Like the guy can just gain muscle mass, no problem.
Look at this guy. Fucking shirt says IBM. He's got horns coming out of his head. That's good. What a great logo.
Him and Jeff.
Yeah, what a nice guy. That's awesome. Yeah, he's a good guy. Mark Carney values. So what was the reason for starting Cohere then?
Do you know the Dawn of Vaughn guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know him personally? Like,
no, but I usually it comes up. Throw this thing online. Or pull it up. I mean, no. Dawn. You have to go to Twitter.
Yeah, search Twitter.
Dawn, DON, of Vaughn, VAUGHN. Yeah, that guy, the Dawn of Vaughn.
He is so like he's one of these people in Toronto.
Yeah.
Or she. I don't know.
It's funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's funny as hell.
Just like
you probably got to go to the. He's funnier on the text.
Cultural icon.
Yeah, there's other guys that are funny too. You met me at a very Quebecois time in my life. Yeah, this guy's funny. I catch his tweets. I'm super jealous of his or her name, the Dawn of Vaughn.
Steve DeLuca fan as well.
Yeah, there's
his edits are so good.
Yeah. What's that thing you like Merry Cribmas or something?
I didn't see that.
I think wasn't that something, John? Merry Cribmas?
Oh, Merry Cribmas.
Cribmas? I don't know. What's that show?
Adam Friedland.
Oh, Adam Friedland.
Oh, Come Down.
Yeah. Do you know Tim and Eric?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, crazy. Interesting.
Yeah, Come Down was so funny.
What was it?
There's another guy called. Wait, you haven't watched Come Down?
No.
Oh my God.
What is it? You've watched it?
Come Down?
Come Down?
Yeah.
Let me see.
And Nick Mullen and Stavros.
What's it called?
CUM.
Oh, it's literally
TOWN.
Come Town? This is crazy, bro. Go to the Wikipedia page. Oh, damn, man. All right, here we go. Come Town. It's a comedy podcast hosted by New York City-based comedians Nick Mullen, Stavros Halkias, and Adam Friedland, and produced between 2016 and 2022.
Now it's called the Adam Friedland Show. I should
Oh, okay. So this is the origin of it was like a podcast.
Yeah, these three guys.
Did you listen?
I loved it. They're so funny. They're incredibly offensive, and it's not at all appropriate. And officially, no, I've never seen it. What is this? But unofficially, yeah, these guys.
The Adam Friedland Show was preceded. Can you look up? Can you show me an image? Can you click Adam Friedland? Dope. Okay.
Now
I was like, I don't know who this is.
Now he's interviewing.
I was imagining
Lena Khan and
really? Is this it? Wow. So he's really funny.
He's so funny. He's so funny. Well, Adam's not funny at all, but
like what makes him so funny?
I don't really know. I just don't think they take themselves seriously.
Right.
At all. It's such a, and they've sort of like through not trying. Now they're interviewing Alec Baldwin, Lena Khan, like just like super famous, legitimate people.
Yeah.
And it's such a funny, like the whole story I just find hilarious.
Yeah.
I feel like they're so far out of their depths.
Yeah. But then they're just like navigating this like very intense subject matter, but then they're just
they're
like
just
whatever.
writing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They just it's this very nonchalant, unserious. Yeah.
What's it like being a CEO?
It's
It's got to be kind of weird, right?
good sides and bad sides.
Like, what is it like?
It's high pressure.
Yeah.
It's very high responsibility. There's a lot of people who depend on you. You have to like deal with a lot of the shittiest parts of just a group of people.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
Like, but at the same time, it's like incredible. You get to meet really cool people. You get to go really cool places.
Meet talented people.
Yeah. At the end of the day, having that responsibility is actually very useful. Like you get to make the decisions that you want to make.
Yeah.
So you're very high agency. Like you get to be the sort of final word in any decision. And it's the stuff that I want to do. It's like, I want to build something for Canada.
Yeah.
I want to build another Canadian tech company because the past quarter century, we've delivered very little. We've got like Shopify,
Yeah.
and in terms of like a industrial development policy, obviously what we've been doing hasn't worked.
Like, what do you mean?
Obviously, there are frictions in our system or outright barriers that prevent. There should be 10 Shopifys, right? Like there should be way more.
Right.
Like just given the level of talent that we have,
Right. Yeah.
the natural resources that we have, et cetera, the wealth that we have, Canada should be producing the most important companies on the planet.
Yeah.
But we haven't done that enough. We got Shopify. We got one breakthrough. I point to Toby as like, he's proof by existence, right? He's like, it can be done because at least we have fucking one. Like, it can be done because that one exists.
Yeah.
And so it must be doable.
There's others too, though. Different scales.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that is the symbol of maximum.
Yeah. I just think a quarter century of producing some of the best research, the best talent, some of the most ambitious people, we should have much more.
Right.
And we should first acknowledge failure. Like that's like admitting there's a problem is like the first step to solving it. And so admitting we fucked up, and you shouldn't linger on that. We should all know the past quarter century has not gone well for Canada.
Have you worked out why that is? I think you're like kind of in a unique position, right, to evaluate that.
I have my opinion.
Like, what is your opinion?
To build a company, you need there's three fundamental ingredients. There's the talent, the capital, and then the market. You need customers.
Yeah.
And on talent, Canada just needs to keep doing what it's doing. You know, we have incredible people. We really just need to put them to work.
Yeah.
And give them the opportunity. The other two is where we've flopped very hard.
Which is capital
and
markets.
And the market. And yeah, Canadian companies don't buy Canadian.
Right.
They intentionally avoid Canadian companies because they're viewed as worse than their American counterparts. And
is that something you've like seen firsthand?
Yeah, but I also I want to. It's changing.
Like, what do you mean?
It's shifting. Canadians are starting to be nationalists.
Right.
We are starting to get serious about actually building the country.
Yeah.
And biasing towards ourselves, like giving ourselves the advantage. You know, I've seen that for Cohere, like for us, the first Canadian company that really stepped up and made a bet on us.
Yeah.
It was Dave McKay. It was RBC.
RBC. Okay.
Like they had every reason not to buy North. This product like didn't even exist when they were buying it. You know, there was Copilot, there was all these other competitive products that were safer, that were, you know, better resourced, et cetera. But they bet on us.
Mm-hmm.
And the CEO of the company, Canada's largest company, I don't know if it's Shopify or RBC right now, whatever,
Yeah.
top two. The CEO just said, no, we're betting on Cohere. And they did that, and they became a development partner with us for North. And then since then, we've added hundreds of millions of revenue on that product and scaled it across the globe. Where, you know, we're in Asia, Seoul, Tokyo, the Middle East, Europe. But someone had to take that bet on us.
Like, why was that bet important? Like, why is that important? Like, why? Because it allows you to do the thing, right? It allows you to have a feedback loop, right?
Exactly.
Right? Where it's like, okay, hey, here's it. It's not just that they took a bet on Cohere giving you like a sale or something like that. They actually gave you a chance to build the thing, right?
No, the revenue is irrelevant. The thing that actually mattered was deep commitment to us and forcing us to build the right thing.
And not just forcing you to build it, but like you build a version of it, then they try it, then you get like a feedback loop.
Yeah.
And then that allows you to like improve the product, right?
A development partner.
Yes. For like a company that has like a real process and like real operations. Like, so you can create something that actually like matters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And since then, like, you know, we did this deal with Bell and like Mirko. He stepped up.
All on North?
Yeah, North as well, yeah. So increasingly I'm seeing that culture shift all in the past 12 months. It's all like within a year. But before, there was no way. Like there's no way a big Canadian company
would take a bet like that.
Would take a bet on us. No way. And similarly with like capital, right? Like if you look at the Canadian pensions, I think there's something like $4 trillion under management.
Right.
This is our sovereign wealth, right? Like these are our pensions. These are this is the wealth of the nation.
The pension plan.
Yeah. Like trying to get money out of the pension, trying to get investment out of the pension was so difficult. And then 2 years ago, it was PSP. PSP is one of the big pensions.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the Maple 8, like the biggest pensions. They stepped up and said, "We want to bet on you." And so you get these occasional moments of a Canadian stepping up and saying, yeah, I'll fucking bet on you.
Yeah.
That just completely change your trajectory. And I think we need more of that. There's a cultural change that needs to happen, both on the like capital side and the commercial side of betting on Canadian. And it's part of nation building.
Right.
If you want this place to get better, you have to take risk and invest in it. And there wasn't enough of that.
Have you been able to work out why that is? Like why it doesn't exist? Because like I can process it as like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And like as a human being, it's like there's like moments where like, you know, you're scared to do something, right?
It's risk aversion.
Yeah, you know, you're. But how does that? Have you worked anything about like how that happens on like a cultural scale or something like that? Like it's kind of odd, right? Like why would someone be averse to like betting on a company in your own kind of space or scene? Like what is that?
There's that saying that like nobody ever got fired for buying IBM, you know.
I see.
Like it's just you're scared for your job, you're risk averse. You just want to do like it's minimizing your own personal risk.
Yeah.
And it's a culture of that. It's just like doing the basic, the easy, the like and that's not how you drive growth.
Yeah.
Like that will only ever land you in the middle of the pack. If you want to be in the front of the pack, if you want to win, you have to take risk to get reward. There's no other, like you cannot be mediocre and have great results.
Yeah.
You need to actually take the risk, stick your neck out. And I think it's on like the leaders of the country, the leaders of our companies, to just inspire risk-taking behavior.
Right.
Like we need to be more tolerant of that. We need to set ourselves ahead.
So one other thing that's a little bit different about Cohere, and I'm assuming you can talk about this, not some controversial question or something like that, but you guys are working a lot with like the Canadian government, right?
We do work with governments.
Yeah. So I don't know the details of this or anything like that, but it, that's like a different kind of attribute. That's like a different kind of path. You know, it's like a new kind of path, I think, where Canada is like this ecosystem where like, you know, in Toronto, we talked about, it's like very new. There's a lot of like chance to try things and see what makes sense and see what doesn't make sense. And so it's interesting to see the ways in which you guys are building Cohere, because I think like you're building it based off of like the reality of like the data sets that you guys are seeing in front of you and what you think are like the best moves, right? The reality of the landscape you're seeing in front of you. Mm-hmm. And I think you've made this unique path, and I don't know all the details, but it seems like working with the government in some way is like a part of what you guys are doing.
It's a part of what we're doing for sure. I would say, you know, historically, it has not been like public sector has not been a big part of our revenue base.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly, like I think 90% plus has been private sector stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Like our partnerships with RBC, with Bell.
Yeah.
You know, LG, Fujitsu, etc. But right now there is a moment where Canada is under threat.
Right.
It is not growing in the way that it should be. And we see an opportunity to strengthen Canada, to strengthen the UK, to strengthen Europe, and make those countries more resilient, make them more robust, drive growth in their economies, you know, support their public sector. There's just a moment where there's a duty right now to contribute to that project. We're back in nation building mode. All of us, every single citizen of this country needs to be aware of that. This is the time to contribute to your country.
Yeah.
I think we have to protect this. Like I think Canada is like the values that we stand for, the people here, the culture. we have to protect this, and every single one of us needs to contribute to that. You don't get to opt out. You should not opt out.
How did you come to believe this?
Well, I think it's that like quarter century of decline
Right.
that I've been feeling. And that sort of came to a head, I think, in the past 12 months. And obviously, you know, we have our neighbor and friend to the south of us who's not being super nice to us right now and is making active threats to hurt us. A lot of the complacency in Canadian politics and culture and industry, it is so urgent to change. Like we have to change that now.
Why do you feel it's so urgent? Like why do you feel like it's so urgent to change that now? I know you're seeing the quarter century decline, right? But a lot of times in like the history of civilization, when there's like new technologies emerging, it really changes like the kind of like the landscape of the world, right? Is there something that you're like intuitively parsing, or is there something that, you know what I mean? Like why is this so urgent? Is it just urgent because of decline,
look
or
around
is it,
you? There's a live kinetic war on the eastern front of Europe.
Yeah.
We're seeing a really disturbing regression back into authoritarianism. There's just been the values that drove the past, whatever, century of progress, in terms of like, you can all sort of like stand still over the past 100 years and you get richer, healthier, better educated. People's lives are just almost uniformly, with, you know, small regressions, but almost uniformly improving. The past 15 years, that's stagnated. You know, we're starting to see test scores beneath those of 20 years ago.
Right.
Like regressions in the intelligence of the students that were graduating. We're starting to see lifespans decline a little bit instead of increase. The GDP per capita has like flatlined or declined in Canada and in the UK and much of Europe. We've entered into this era of stagnation, and when that happens, when the pie isn't growing, when the pie is growing, you don't need to take anyone else's slice of the pie. Your slice is growing along with the pie.
Right.
And so you don't need these sort of authoritarian leaders who will fight against others, who will pursue territorial conquest, who will preach xenophobia and someone else is stealing your slice of the pie. You don't need that, because you can just feel everyone's getting better.
Exactly.
But when stagnation sets in, when growth slows, it becomes zero sum, and you start to see these really disturbing trends reemerge. And that's what we're fighting against. I think we have to save liberal democracy. Like that is the moment we exist in right now. It's our last chance to course correct, because the momentum is in the opposite direction.
Do you actually believe that?
100%. I don't know how you can, like last week, like Switzerland declared they're going to reassess neutrality.
Neutrality is?
Switzerland's Switzerland, right?
Oh,
like
right.
It's like
neutrality in terms of their role in geopolitics.
Yeah.
Yes, I see.
Like it's like right now, I think over the next like 4 or 5 years, we have our window of opportunity to protect all of the good around us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not contributing to that, I just think that's a huge mistake.
Yeah. Why do you think it's a 4 to 5 year window? You think this is building up towards something?
I think it's like, from a conflict perspective, it's only going to get worse. Like we know what is being prepared for,
right?
Like in South China Sea, and we know what Russia's thinking, and building up towards. There's now is the time to get ready. And I think there should be zero naivety among the public in terms of what we have to do to protect the trajectory of the free world.
Do you think most people in the public are aware of this? I don't think they are.
I think they are. Like they're voting,
so?
they're voting and they're polling like they are, right? Like I think
I think people are aware of it in maybe some like loose sense, like loose directional sense. But I think like perhaps from your view or other people that are maybe like seeing data like more on the front lines, if you will. I think what happens is like there's a compounding effect that's occurring, right? That you're not necessarily aware of if you're just kind of like interacting with these ideas as like themes, just like if you're just like you mentioned, like you explained it very well, where it was like the if the pie is shrinking, you start looking in other places. I think in a very, very broad strokes, that's how people are interacting with it, right? Like, hey, fuck that guy, or hey, fuck this guy, right? But there's like nuance here, right? Where I imagine what you're seeing and maybe what some others are seeing is like there's like decisions being made, right? There's a technology that's being created and invested in, and people that were working on this kind of project are now working on this kind of project, right? And there's like a compounding effect that happens, and that that's happening. That's perhaps happening in Canada. That's happening in like other countries, and that starts building up over time. I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Are you seeing something like this?
I think there's increasing awareness, at least in Canada and in Europe, of this reality that's sort of emerged and that we have to face. And there's a willingness and a commitment to face it. There are other places where I think there's maybe complacency or wishful thinking that we're not headed down this trajectory, that the reality of the world and the realignment that's happening isn't what it is. There's denial still. But I think Canada got shaken awake, and I think the public sees what's coming.
Yeah.
And wants our nation to prepare.
Well, yeah, it definitely seems that way for sure.
I think we've woken up, and it's a good thing for Canada.
Yeah.
I want to be super clear. We needed this.
Yeah. I think I have like a conflicted relationship with this. I think part of it, I think it is good because it's like you can I think like it's good to wake up to things, to increase your level of intensity in what you're pursuing, increase like have a sense of vision and a sense of purpose and a sense of intensity to what you're doing. I think that's really important. I think that's really useful. The conflicted relation I have with it is just like some aspects of it are just uninspiring to me. Like have you heard of the theory of reflexivity? Can you pull that up? So go to this Wikipedia page here. It's a social theory. Reflexivity refers to circular relationships between cause and effect, especially as embedded in human belief structure. A reflexive relationship is a multi-directional when causes and the effects affect the reflexing agent in a layered and complex sociological relationship. The idea here is that, to my understanding of it, within economics, reflexivity refers to the self-reinforcing effect of market sentiment, whereby rising prices attracts buyers whose actions drive prices higher, still until the process becomes unsustainable. This is an instance of positive feedback loop. The same process can operate in reverse, leading to catastrophic collapse in prices. And so as me, like I think a lot about like narratives and stuff like that, right? And it's like there's this interesting thing where it's like at the same time, you don't want someone to come in and, there are certain values that have to be protected and you have to accept the realities of the world. I think you're right. Like this, you can't have this like naive view of these things. Like you got to look at reality and like, hey, like, man, some things are important and, some things need to be protected. But I think at the same time, another thing that happens is like when it kind of sucks in this like meta narrative perspective, when I like look at it, I'm like, well, fuck, you could just define a new vision of the future. You know what I mean? a more collaborative, united vision of the future. It's just frustrating to me. It's just something I find very, very frustrating because like if, typically even when you look at history of people, like even like Buckminster Fuller, like this architect, this experimental architect, like, he's like, look, man, if you're like in the US and you're bombing China or some shit like that, like you're bombing the hull of your own fucking ship. It's one ship. It's just an interconnected system. The ideas of countries and things like this, these are things that labels that we have given, that we've fragmented the country in this way, and so it's this interesting dynamic where both of these things are true at the same time, where it's like, you're absolutely right that like, hey, there is certain boundaries that cannot be crossed. There are certain values that have to be protected. But at the same time, I get frustrated, right? Because I'm like, we can also, have a better vision of the future. You know what I mean? It's like we're in the process of inventing this. We're creating and implementing this incredible technology. Why does it have to be this kind of a vision? Why does it have to compound in this way?
When I was in uni, I don't know. I thought we were sort of like a post-war society.
Me too.
Right? Like the great powers like couldn't fight anymore, and that we were on this trajectory of like the end of armed conflict and global integration and all these things. Unfortunately, like cruel people still exist and are in power.
Yeah.
Like what's happening in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like there's still evil. There's still evil. And so while I agree with your sentiment, like I wish we lived in a world where, all this sort of like labels and, borders and blah, 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 it was all fake. And,
they're constructs. They're very real, but they're constructs we've created.
Yeah. And that we can all see that and, work through our problems.
Yeah.
Constructively. I think, I don't know, stuff like Hong Kong, stuff like Ukraine, woke me up and sort of made me realize bullies still exist.
Mm-hmm.
Cruelty and evil is still there. And there's a duty to protect the innocent, right?
Yeah.
We do not, like the globe does not share a unified set of values.
Yes.
We are not at the place we want to be, but we should continue the march towards that.
Yeah.
That is what progress looks like. I do think one day there will be a point in which these sorts of conflicts are just so politically unattractive. They're just so unnecessary or impossible that we can move past it. I do believe that reality will emerge. We're not there.
I've realized lately as I've been exploring these kinds of subjects, I realized I don't have a good understanding of what like evil is. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because I like grew up in a place where, I grew up how I grew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I realized I don't have a good understanding of what is evil, like what. Yeah. I think like in making documentaries and doing interviews and stuff and something like that, right? It's always like, I maybe have this weird idea that there is no such thing as evil. That there is I found that there are people that I definitely think are in a state where they're doing things that are just like not good. But when you investigate why that is, there's always some chain of reasoning that you can get down to,
I think it's a abandonment of empathy.
Yeah. Also, it's your bias too, in a way, right? It's like we're talking about liberal democracy and these values, like they're worth fighting for. And I think they're worth fighting for too, right? This idea that you have the ability to use your mind to learn anything and to explore things and to change society in whatever way that you, like everyone should have the ability to like self-actualize in that way.
Or that the public should have a say
Yes.
in how things go. I think that like the democratic ideals, Enlightenment ideals, these are the right ideals.
Yeah.
It's all subjective, and you can say it's all relative. But I actually believe like the most productive thing for keeping humans healthy, safe, happy, wealthy, educated are these values. And it's scary to see some of them set aside or
For sure.
abandoned. I think the empathy piece is something that
Definitely.
it became super unpopular recently to have empathy. I think it was because empathy got weaponized. It was it
Like, what do you
became a
mean?
tool. There was like a wave of weaponized empathy that would cast one subgroup as the victim, deserving of infinite empathy, and another as the perpetrator, who deserved no empathy,
Right.
and who should be cast out and who should be chastised and publicly lashed. And I think it was weaponized empathy, and there was a counter reaction to that has made all empathy. They've interpreted it as just empathy is bad and weak.
Yeah.
And that's a mistake.
Yeah, 100%.
That reaction is it's so dangerous.
That's absurd.
But it's happening. You can see it. You can just see abject cruelty and lack of empathy, and villainization of these subgroups. These are really abandoning empathy is an extremely dangerous thing. I think that's where evil grows.
Right. But it seems like the root of it is this idea like of stagnation. You're seeing a lot of these things start to happen when things stagnate, right?
When it's zero sum, yeah.
Yeah.
When you have to, if you want to grow your slice of the pie, I have to take it from you.
Yeah.
And so like suddenly you want to elect a strong man because you know you're going to have to fight.
Yeah.
And so you want the strongest possible person in place rather than someone who's empathetic, who cares about collective growth, who's willing to compromise and pursue restoring the growth of the pie rather than growing their slice.
Totally.
You just start to see these really insidious trends in how people approach the world and see each other. That's why I think like a lot of the AI folks are scared of AI and think it's going to destroy the world.
Yes.
I kind of see it as it's a technology that could potentially save the world, in the sense that it could restore growth. It could
Move you out of stagnation.
pull us out of stagnation and give us another 25, 50 years of things getting cheaper, faster, better across the entire economy, right? Like every single field is going to be impacted by this. Every single person is going to use this to do more in their lifespan. And that restoration of growth, I think, will take off the pressure that's leading to these scary regressions towards authoritarianism.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I never thought of it in that way. The idea that it's a byproduct of stagnation. But it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I think it.
It makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, it all sort of happened at the same time, and
When things start getting shittier, they need somebody to blame.
absolutely,
Like,
yeah, there's
it's like you can everybody can relate to that. When
Mhm.
something's not working, you want to blame something. You need to. It's like You need,
It's instinct.
it's instinct.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:28. We need to talk for like 3 more hours. I feel like
We just scratched the surface.
Yeah. You're an
Dude,
interesting
thank you
guy.
so much for having me.
Yeah.
I just want to like from the, I don't know, the folks from Cohere, just like the Toronto, as a kid who grew up here in the tech scene in Toronto, I also just want to say thank you. You know, you really inspire so many people, and I think the stuff that you and many others, there's a lot of others who are pushing this. Toronto is such a fucking sick place to be.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The scenes that are emerging here, the creativity, the ambition. Like I want to be here.
Yeah.
Like this place is so fucking sick. It's filled with such cool people who want to do such awesome things.
Yeah.
I just think it's like, it's so high upside.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
just want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, you are.
Yeah, I try.
You're a huge part of it.
I try.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah. Likewise, man. Appreciate you. But man, we got to talk again. We got we got to like
visit me in London or come out to my cabin.
Yeah,
we
would
can
love
chop
to,
some
man.
wood.
Yeah, I would love to. There's just so much more to discuss. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface on like the way that you think. I think we talked today about like, I think I wanted to kind of talk to you about some of the kind of core things that you're working on. But from this conversation, what I'm realizing is just interesting the way that you think. It's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, dude.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Good stuff, man.